Hey guys, today I will be sharing how to make turtle thumbprint cookies. For the ingredients, we need 1.5 cups of plain flour, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of brown sugar, 1/3 cup of Dutch processed cocoa powder, 1 cup of pecan nuts that we're gonna crush, half a cup of butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 egg. So I've crushed the pecans. If you don't have a food processor, you can use a knife to chop the pecan. Next steps is to combine the flour, baking powder, salt, and the Dutch processed cocoa powder. If it's possible, sift the cocoa powder because there's a lot of lumps on it. Give it a quick mix and then we will set this aside. Using an electric mixer, beat the butter. Then add the vanilla. Followed by the brown sugar and the white sugar. Continue beating this until it is well combined. Just like this. At this point, we can add in the egg. Continue beating. Once the texture is like this, we can add in the flour mixture. Now use the spatula first in mixing so we can reduce the amount of flour flying all over the place. Then use the electric mixer starting on low. And once the flour is covered with butter, we can stop mixing. Avoid over mixing. Now we're gonna use our hands to lightly knead the dough. Form it into a ball and then place it on a cling wrap. And then we're gonna let this chill in the fridge for about 30 to 45 minutes. After 35 or 45 minutes, preheat the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. So I've got 1 egg white in here that I'm lightly beating. Now we're gonna grab a small portion of the dough, form it into a ball just like this, and then dunk it into the egg whites and then into the pecan nuts. Again, continue doing this until you finish up with all the dough. Now we're gonna make an indentation in the center of the dough. I'm using a teaspoon, half a teaspoon in diameter. If you make an indentation in the center, support the side of the dough because when you put pressure in the center, it cracks on the side. But that's natural. And then we will bake this in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 12 to 15 minutes. So now the cookies is baked. We're gonna make indentation again in the center because we've got baking powder in this. It lifts up a little bit in the center. And then let it cool down in the baking pan for about a minute before moving it into the wire rack. So instead of chewy caramels, I'm using chewy toffee since it's hard for me to find chewy caramels here in Australia. So I'm using the whole pack, which is 22 pieces of the chewy toffee and 2.5 tablespoons of whipping cream. So just combine the two ingredients together and then give it a mix. And then we're gonna melt this in the microwave for about a minute using 30-second intervals. So after 30 seconds, take it out, mix it, and then put it back in the microwave. And this is what it should look like after melting. I'm gonna transfer this in a piping bag. So now we're gonna put the caramel in the center of the cookies. So you can stop from here. Optional ingredients that we're gonna use is baking chocolate. So this is about 120 grams of dark baking chocolate that I've melted in the microwave again. And then I put it in a piping bag and then drizzle this on top of the turtle thumbprint cookies. If you want the caramel to set faster, you can put this in the fridge for about 30 minutes, and then you can see that the caramel will start to form a film in the middle. And this is the finished product. I hope you give this a try. This is so good. I can guarantee that you're gonna love this. And then just to show you what it looks like when you bite or cut the cookies in the middle. The caramel will thicken up a little bit as it cools down. Again, to help it set, put it in the fridge if you like. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye!